I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Liz, and we are
Two Grateful Stitchers.
Thanks for joining us today. This is our second Flosstube of 2023. We had sort of done a reassessment of life and everything and how busy it is, and have decided to probably be recording every other month. There's only so many hours in a day, and Laura still works full-time.
Yep.
And so every other month we'll be able to get together still, and then maybe do some finishing and some stuff together, framing and all the stuff we'd like to be able to do, and then every other month we'll record.
So. That way we can show you what we get done.
Yeah.
We need more time.
So we appreciate you joining us. I know sometimes people just get overwhelmed, I think, and then all of a sudden they're just gone and they don't record anymore, and I think that's probably what happens. Life just gets in the way. So we're trying to avoid not recording at all and just being more intentional. So thanks for your patience with us as we work through all of that. But we can probably jump into things. I think I usually start by talking about Flosstube.
Yes. She's retired, so she gets to watch Flosstube, and then
I do.
She shares all the good information with me.
I saw quite a bit of Flosstubes in the last couple months. Life is busy, even retired. I'm a little shocked at how busy it is retired. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it, very grateful, but still busy. A few Flosstubes I watched, though, were the first one I watched was Vonna Pfeiffer's last two, The Twisted Stitcher. I think it was her January and her February one. I watched both of them, so I'm not sure which content was in which one, but in one of them, she talks about being cognizant of all the things that we own, and I own a lot of stuff, and so does Laura.
Yes.
And collecting is fun too, and there's a place for that for sure. But we both feel like
we have way more than we'll ever stitch in our entire lifetime.
Yeah.
So we're focusing now this year, I think, more specifically than anything, on finishing the stuff that we have.
Yes.
Because we bought it because we fell in love with it, and we really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And yes, there are still beautiful, beautiful patterns that are coming out.
Yeah, every day.
And you can't help but want it.
Yeah.
But I am backing off a little bit, not 100%.
Right.
Because I want to be more selective and say, yes, I absolutely love that. And yes, I know that I want that in my house. Or yes, I know I want to gift that to someone rather than just collecting.
Right. So we had gone on a retreat. It was before the pandemic, before cancer even. And there was a lady who had been real active in the community that we live in that had passed away. And there was so much stuff. And it really broke my heart. They were giving away finished pieces of hers that her husband had just given to the store owner in the group, and had said, just give it all away. And I just don't want that. I don't want my possessions to become a burden to somebody else. So anyways, we're just going to try to be more cognizant of what we have, and stitch from stash, and maybe not have quite as much haul to show. I do have a little bit of haul to show. Not a ton.
Right.
So,
but share with you as we finish our projects.
Yes.
Because they bring us joy as we're doing them.
Yeah.
And then we want to share that with you, and then hopefully you'll get ideas and say, oh, I want to do that.
Another point that Vonna made in one of her videos was, a lot of us are on Instagram, and I run our Instagram account, and if we're all posting the same pictures of the same things, what fun is that? So if we're all going back a little bit and doing different things, then there's more variety in our social media feed too. So something to think about. In one of those two videos too, she also talked about needles, and I'll talk about that with one of my projects, because I learned quite a bit from that Flosstube, and from another Flosstube that she directed us to. So. And then I watched Annie B's folk art. I just love her videos. Her and her girls are just adorable. We get to hang out with them next month. And we're looking so forward to that. The most recent video they had up with their market antics was just hilarious. They just make me giggle. I love seeing the joy that they have. And I watched Lost in Floss's most recent video. I keep up with so-and-sos with Kathy and Nancy. And I was just telling Laura this morning, I had to stop watching That Quarter Shop does a live, and Primitive Gatherings does a live, and I love those, but I had to stop watching them, or at least give myself some space after I watch them, so that I don't buy everything I see on that video.
That goes against with everything we were just saying.
So I'm just not, I'm not boycotting them by any means or anything like that. I still love them. I just have to not let myself be influenced so much by, of course that's the goal, I guess, for people selling stuff, but I want to take inspiration where I want to take it and then not be influenced in ways that aren't helpful for me or good for my growth.
Makes sense.
So yeah, we can start with FFOs because we gave ourselves a little bit of time in between videos. We have fully finished objects.
We do. And that's why we're doing this every other month, to give us time to get these things done.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to start?
Sure. Here's my little FFO. Is it upside down? Nope. There we go. This is Gobble by Plum Street Samplers. I started it last fall and finally got it done. Last month, Liz and I got together. Instead of making the video, we got together and spent a morning just finishing, fully finishing our projects. Yeah. So this is what I finished. That's the back. It's just a gold fabric that kind of matches the little corns on the front. And this edging or trim is a fuzzy yarn that I picked up at Joann.
I was going to say, it looks bigger than chenille. I love it.
Yeah, and then I dyed it.
You dyed it.
I dyed it. I used Rit dye and I made it a little beige color.
Oh, it's perfect.
So that it would go. And so I'll take him home and tuck him into a drawer until next fall and then pull him out.
Perfect.
Yeah, he turned out really cute.
Love
I
him.
like it.
Love him. Okay, so I have a fully finished object. So this was Corgi Love by the Sunflower Diaries, right? Sunflower Diaries off Etsy. So that was the pattern. And then here she is. This is my pillow. I saved the little Corgi needle minder and just kept it on the pillow because I thought it was so appropriate. I did the Lady Dot Creates velveteen on the back and then some trim, pom-pom trim, I think, from Joann's. So this is the queen and her corgi.
And that turned out so adorable.
Maybe see if that helps, putting it up a little closer.
And that's just so clever, too. She just put the needle minder right in there, so the magnet's holding it in when we stuff the pillow. Yeah. And it fits. It's perfect.
Super cute.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. So that's our fully finished objects, and you have a finish.
I do have a finish. This is... Love Abide by La Di Da.
Another Wisconsin-based business.
And I had fun doing this one. And I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to get it framed.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I have it hanging on a hanger because I don't want it to get wrinkled, after I ironed it. But I don't know if you can see the whole thing, if I got it too close or too far away. But I did that on a 36 count linen that I dyed myself.
I love it.
Because I couldn't find the right fabric that I wanted. It was during COVID and it was very hard to find fabric. And I had a off-white linen in my stash. And so I used some dye again.
Okay.
Yep. So I used some tan dye and some camel dye and a beige dye. I just kind of mixed them up and modeled it and that's how that came out. And I love it. This was fun.
I have this one. I have to start it. I mean, not this year, but oh my goodness, I love it. Trees are my thing. It's just beautiful. I can't wait to see that framed.
And I love the saying too. In our home, let love abide and bless all those who step inside. So I do want to put this somewhere in my home. Right, perfect. Like almost in the entryway.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep, just got to figure it out.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, should we start on whips? Do you want to do yours first? I have probably more than you do.
I'll go first. I don't have a ton, but I have got a couple. This is not in season right now. This is Christmas one. Sometimes I just like to buck what's going on. I know people
buck the system.
I do, and the system seems to be that people stitch in season
for sure.
And I am. I've got another whip over here. But then part of me was like, Christmas has been gone now for several months, so yeah, I can pull one out. So I bought this several years ago.
Whatever works.
Because I loved it, and I also bought the floss that went with it. And
what kind of floss is it?
Sulky.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
And this is the Cotton Petites, and this is a 12 weight. So you only need one strand of this.
And then is it equivalent to two strands of DMC?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I do like it.
Oh.
We
bought some last year, but I still haven't stitched with it. So.
I'm not doing it. I'm using the called for colors. Obviously, I just showed that to you, but I'm not doing it on the called for fabric. The called for fabric was, I guess, a little too brown for me. I really liked the photograph.
Oh, it's so cute.
Of the the patterns, you know,
Yeah,
and the photographs.
I meant yours is so
yeah.
cute.
Oh, thanks. The fabric in the photographs appears to be more gray.
Oh, and in real life it's brown.
And in real life it's got more of a brown tint to it. And I really liked that. So I just picked out a piece of fabric that I had in my stash. And so far, so good.
It's so tiny.
It is. It's very tiny.
I love
this
it.
is on 36 count linen.
Oh, yeah.
And 1/2 because it's one strand.
Yeah.
Because it's the...
So if you were using a fancy floss or a DMC, it would be two.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very like, what is that called? Not, you know how the one strand, I'll talk about this a little bit too, like one strand is sort of ghosty looking.
Yeah, no, this is thick.
So it's thicker,
Yeah, it's thicker. It looks like the 2 strands.
Yeah.
It doesn't give that ghost effect or that softer effect when you're using one strand. Yeah. And then my other one is in season, and I'm hoping to have it done by Easter. This is from Jelly Bean Jubilee by Brenda Gervais. And the one that I'm working on is the little one on the back here, the little bunny standing on a mug or a jar that says Jelly Beans.
Cute.
And here she is. This is as far as I've gotten so far.
You're pretty far.
This is a really quick stitch. I'm surprised.
Oh.
It's stitched up really quick. This is on a 32 count even weave, I guess you would say, that I got from Silk Weavers.
Oh, okay.
And it comes in this color. It was just a lavender color. And
It's
I thought, oh, that's perfect for Easter.
So springy.
Yep. And I'm hoping to turn this in. My idea right now is to use this. I'll have to put a lining on the back of it, but it's going to be an outside pocket for like a little book bag for my granddaughter.
Oh, that'll be so cute.
Because I call her Jelly Bean.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do? That's perfect.
So,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so that's my hope. And when I get it fully finished, I will share it with all of you.
Oh, I can't wait. That's adorable. I didn't know you called her Jelly Bean. That's so cute.
Yep.
Okay, so I've been trying to be more intentional, and I've been stitching probably about half hour, 45 minutes every morning, and then probably about that long in the afternoon. I can stitch a lot easier in the daytime than I can at night, even with glasses and lighting and everything. So I try to stitch during the day, which has worked out fine. But what I have discovered is one strand stitching. You would think all these years. So I've always avoided it because I always try not to go under stitches. Like I was always taught that to pull your needle under stitches to secure your thread isn't as safe as doing like I'm not sure what it's called, where you take the 2 ends of the thread and you put them through the
Fold
needle.
it in half.
And you do the loop start, it might be called. And I've always just used the loop start. Even with fancy floss, I've always just used the loop start. I've always done 1 X at a time instead of doing it where you go all the way across and come all the way back. And even when I would get patterns that said to do 1 piece of floss, I would do 2 every time, every single time.
I didn't know that.
And then I got, let's see, was it this one? Yes. I had put a picture up in one of the groups that occasionally will ask if you have a unicorn chart, and then a very sweet person offered to borrow me her chart. And so I started it, and it called for one thread.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it the way it looked, and I wanted that look like that. I was so in love with that look, so I was willing to give it a shot. And oh my goodness, I love it.
It's so much easier. Your threads don't get tangled.
So I don't have the pattern anymore because I gave her back the pattern. I just have my working copy because I had already had it for almost a year. And I was feeling so bad about it because I'm a slow stitcher, and I think I started this 4 different times because I started it on linen, which that was dumb. I know I can't stitch on linen anymore. And then I went to even weave. And then I went to a higher count Ada, and then I finally settled on this Ada, so this is it. It is called, let me get my book here, if you want to hold it up.
Yeah.
My needle is stuck to it.
It's okay.
Oh, no, it's still in it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this is in my haul. I had bought, let me hold this up a little bit. This is that cross-stitch journal from Fat Quarter Shop that Kathy Lounsbury had suggested, and in our comments and on her video, and I really like it. I can't handle Book of Days. I'm not creative enough maybe. I mean, I always say I'm creative, but I'm not artistic, but I don't know. I did start this, and what I liked about it is you don't have to track like minutes or stitches, or you're just listing what you're doing. And then when you're done, you can say you're done. So at least you have a record.
Sure. I
had started to do like a junk journal kind of thing for cross stitch, where I had printed out pictures of all my whips, and then that's as far as I got. And I end up overwhelming myself. I'm like, okay, this is simple. This I can handle. And so this is called Let Heaven and Nature Sing by Blackbird Designs. And it's an out of print book. That's why someone had to borrow it to me. This is called Heatherland by Picture This Plus, and it's 16 count.
It's really pretty.
And that look with the one strand of floss
is what you were going for.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So then, let's see. So these are the called for flosses, except for this. This was the called for floss isn't made anymore. It was from a brand that doesn't exist anymore. So this is like a substitution. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so these are the colors that go with it. And I'm having a blast working on this.
That's really pretty. Really pretty. I like that.
And I
like the softness of the one strand look. Yeah. It's very pretty.
So let me, there's thread flying everywhere.
Okay. Hazard. There we go. I bought that. Sorry.
Oh, no.
There we go.
We'll see how that turns out. I don't know. That's okay. So then I had started this Sunday stitch, and I think I had talked about this. It's called Awake My Soul by La Di Da.
It's beautiful.
And oh, I love this pattern. So I had started it with 2 threads because it was before I had really got going on that one. So then I'd been doing that one, working, tooling away on it, and then I picked this one up and I was like, no, I hate it. I just hated it.
Oh.
And I had like the corner and the A done, and I just hated it. So I decided to turn it over and start over with one strand because it's a big piece and I want to love it. So I was good with that, right? So then, okay, so this is pretty. Awake My Soul, like I said, by La Di Da. And this is color and cotton 20 count biscotti fabric. And I am using all the called for flosses. So you can maybe kind of do that.
That's very pretty.
And so as I was stitching away on with my one strand of floss, you can see here it just broke on me.
Oh,
it just up and broke on me. I was devastated. I've been stitching for 30 years and this has never happened to me. Never.
Wow.
And everybody was like, what do you mean it's never happened to you? It happens all the time.
Okay.
I had no idea. I was so upset. And so one of the videos that I was talking about earlier in one of Vonna Pfeiffer's Flosstube, she was talking about how if you don't use the right size needle, then you're dragging the floss through the hole that's too small, and it's wearing on that floss, and that's why thread breaks. And I can see that's exactly what happened.
So do you use a bigger needle then?
So she
to open the hole.
Yes, yeah. So she actually, and I wrote it down so I could tell you guys, she talked about Susan Greening Davis. And so I found her video. It was through an Embroiderer Guild of America, like workshop maybe. Okay. And she talks a lot about needles, and I'll post it in our description box below so you can watch it if you'd like. She talks about how important it is to use the right size needle. And she says on the counts that I work on, so I don't remember exactly what she said, but I knew it applied to me. She said, always use a 22 needle. And I've always been using a 26 or a 28.
So 22 is bigger.
So it's bigger. You want it bigger. And not so big that you're, making a mess of it, but so that the needle comes through and makes the hole just a tiny bit bigger so that the thread flows through it easier.
Makes sense.
And I'm like,
aha moment.
All these years, are you kidding me? And so, of course, I went to go order the 22 needles, and they're out of stock. And so,
of course.
So I sat this down anyways because I was super frustrated because now obviously I have to pull a bunch out to be able to restart that. So, anyways, this is Awake My Soul. And
I'm going to pop off the screen here for just a second to go set this aside, but you can keep talking.
Okay, thank you.
Show her your next one.
Okay, so the next one I have is It's Freezin Season by Annie Beez. So Laura and I had joined Annie Beez Folk Art Christmas Ornament Club for 2023 through Crazy Annie.
Yes.
And those are 2 different Annies.
Yes.
And you're probably all aware of that. But So that we got the first one, and I didn't take this out of the package, so I hope there isn't
That's
any,
the second
any
one.
glare.
Yeah, the first one I finished
Yes,
and
you
showed
did, you
that
did,
at the, on our last video.
So this is the Cocoa and Kisses one, the first one. And yeah, so this club is through Crazy Annie Stitching. And so this is as far as I got on this little thing. It's so cute.
It is. I had fun doing that.
So,
and that one came out fairly early. I mean, that came out
did.
like the very first week in January. So that's why I was able to finish it by the end of January for that video. The February one came out at the end of February. So neither one of us...
I haven't even started
Nope, and I haven't started mine either. But that's what it looks like, and it is absolutely adorable as well.
It is, yeah. And the call for floss is all DMC, so I don't know if you really want to see all that.
Yeah, I'm excited to work on all of these, and I can't wait to see next month's too.
Yeah.
Or this month's, I should say. It's March already.
It's March,
I know,
yeah.
time is flying.
Yeah, and I think they got behind because of market or what have you, so if you want to just pile everything on the chair or what have you.
Yeah, and well, and they ended up having a lot more people in the club. Like originally when we had first signed up, they had it at, I think it was 300 people could join the club, and now it's up to 500 people.
Oh, I didn't realize.
They had to shut it and say, no more, we can't get any more people in the club.
Sure.
So when you're packaging up and getting ready for 500 people, that on all the mailing and everything, that's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're grateful to get on it. I'm glad I'm in the club.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you can't get into all the clubs everywhere. There was a fabric club that I looked at that I think it's Color and Cotton, and they're not even taking people. So and they don't even have a wait list. You just have to kind of watch and see if you know. So then my next whip is Liberty Lodge. So
this one is so cute.
I just love her. I gotta turn my page here in my little book so I can tell you what I'm doing. This is Plum Street Samplers, and oh my goodness, I just love her. I should tell you that the It's Freezin season, I asked for the 18 count vintage country mocha Ada. Okay. So that's what that's on with the call for floss, the DMC.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing mine on as well. Usually I do linen, but I'm doing the Ada for that one.
Yeah, it's super cute. So, and then this fabric is 18 count fabric from Rebel Stitcher on Etsy. And maybe other places, but I got it on Etsy, and this is as far as I am, and it's all folded up right now because I was traveling with it, but I will get it back in my rotation quickly here.
Yeah,
this thing's so much fun to stitch.
I love the colors.
And then these are the called for flosses are kind of a mess right now, but they're all some DMC and probably about half DMC, half fancy floss.
You're using the called for.
Called for, yep. That's my project there.
Thank you. I got that for you.
Yes, you did. Thank you. And then Winter Rose Manor. So I love this. I love this so much. So this is how far I am on this.
Yep, you're coming along now.
And this is a lot of fun to stitch on. I have been using the Nerge hoops for pretty much everything. I don't know if I have this high enough. I have been using the Nerge hoops for pretty much everything, but this was already in my, what do you call these? Q-snap.
Yeah.
And so I was just leaving it in there. And then I'm using the called for flosses here.
I love the colors of the flosses.
The colors are just, they're gorgeous.
Will you put that up in your home?
I will. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So that one's Winter Rose Manor. And then, so this one, I have a question. So this is, it's called Feather Your Nest.
What?
And
I love that fabric.
I know, right? So this is the pattern. It's a Brenda Gervais pattern.
Oh, and this is the one where you switched out the colors.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm doing Stitching by the Moon's conversion with the Victoria Motto
Sampler shop.
The floss, yep. And then the fabric is Not Another Sampler, 16 count by Beez
Stitch Me. Yep.
So I had the letters last time, and they're well, let's see which color they are. It's one of the Victoria Motto ones. And when I picked it back up and went to do the vines for the tree behind the bird, I was using 2 strands because I use 2 strands for those letters, and I don't like it with the 2 strands.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm going to leave the letters, I think, and then I'll just start the tree branches over with just 1 strand of floss. Because I think I'll like it a lot better. And then I might just do the whole thing with 1 strand, and then if I really hate those 4 letters, then I'll take them out. But I don't think I will because they're pretty light.
Yeah, they're really light. I would leave them. I don't know.
I'm going to leave the letters, but I'm
then
gonna
do everything else.
Yeah, and see what I think. And I'll take you guys along with me. Every month I'll show you where I'm at with it, and we'll see what we think. So
yeah, maybe you stitch the darker letters last. I mean, the lighter flosses, they're so light that I don't think the 2 strands will matter.
Yeah, because it's not this picture; it's this one.
Right.
And it's the orange and the brown from the Victoria Motto Sampler Shop threads. I just love those. And she did it in one strand.
Okay.
So Michelle did. So
that's really
pretty.
If
I want it to look closer to this picture, then I do need to do it in one strand. So
right.
So that's what we'll do. So I have so those are all my whips, and then I wrote myself a list of what I want to accomplish in 2023. I would like to get all of those done, which I don't know if I can, but I will at least make really good progress on them. Probably more progress than I ever have, just because I'm retired. But then I also will continue to work on samplers for my grandkids, because I always have one of those going. And then I want to finish the Christmas tree of the grandkids' names by Christmas. Yes. So if I don't get anything else done, at least I will, because I have probably 30 other whips than these, but these are the ones that I want to focus on, and then I'll just keep working on them and keep them in my rotation and see how it goes. So, and as I finish up, then I'll bring another one out and, do, and I know other people just routinely do that. I'm just figuring this out.
As we go, right?
You do what you can do, right? So I think that was those were all the entries in there. And so, let's see, that leaves us with haul. So I did have some haul, just a little bit. I did buy that journal, and then I also got one for quilting. So as I've been saying for a couple months now, I'm going to teach myself how to quilt, or I want to learn how to quilt. So I have a lot of stuff, and I am following like a YouTube series, Teach Yourself How to Quilt. And so I have starched fabric and pressed it, and I'm to the point where I'm like learning how to do the scant 1/4-inch seam, teaching myself that, learning a little bit more about my sewing machine, because I've really only used it for mending up till now. Well, I've sewn a few projects, but they were more, we did memory pillows out of my dad's clothes when he passed away and that kind of thing. So I'm excited, looking forward to learning more about it, but yeah, that says I don't have anything to put in that book is my point.
Okay. I'm over here looking.
Yeah, anyway.
It's coming. It's coming.
I did forget. I was going to show this in the beginning, and I forgot. This is from Linda. She sent us this beautiful thank you card, and I just wanted to give her a quick shout out because that was adorable. And so this is just haul. I dropped that. That's fine. This was all Market. This stuff was Market. So I just get that cookbook that comes every year out at Market. Well, it's the second year it came out, but there are really good patterns in here. A couple of them.
Along with recipes?
Yeah. There's I was gonna try to remember the page numbers. Yep. So there's a Blackbird design pattern in here, and I can't show it because it's got the thing too.
Right.
But, so there's one of those, and then there was one other one.
4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. Is there a blackbird pie?
Is there?
No.
I don't maybe.
Just,
I don't know. Are you messing with me? And this I thought was adorable.
There's some really cute patterns in there.
Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah.
Blackbird designs. There's some cute patterns in there, and there were last year too. So, and then I got this. If I had seen this like finished on Instagram, this is another one of those that I wouldn't have bought. I had a list. I always write a list of all the things, your market wish list kind of thing. And it's always way too long, and I'm always like, I didn't start anything I bought from last year. So I didn't want to overdo it because I'm getting upset with myself for that. So, but I saw this on Instagram, and it must have been the designer, I would think. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with this. It's Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor, designed by Lori Pengelly. So this is the pattern that I bought.
It's really pretty.
Just gorgeous. It looks like it calls for a lot of classic color work, some gentle arts. It's stitched on 36 count, so I would probably do it on 18 count Ada. But I just thought that was beautiful.
That is really, really pretty.
I'm just going to grab this out of here.
Very pretty colors.
Blackbird, I guess, wasn't there at Market, but they were Hoffman Distributors was there, and so they had this, and it was their new United We Stand booklet, and it has like 3 or 4 patterns, And I really like patriotic stuff. I thought this one was awesome.
That one on the back is pretty too.
Yeah.
Very
I
pretty.
think there's 3 total, the 2 on the front and this one on the back. So, and this is probably the one I would do that I like the best. So.
Yep, I like that one.
So yeah, and then I did get some fabric. So this is from Seraphim Fabric, and this one's Regency, and these are both 18 count, but this one's called Regency, the name of the color. Look up for you. And it's got just a little bit of modeling on it, but for the most part, I figure it's just, I'm not even sure what I'm going to use it for. I don't have a huge fabric stash, but I really like 18 count Aida.
And you want to be able to have something on hand to be able to pull out of your stash.
Yeah.
And this is pretty neutral, so you could use it for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I like it.
I have been watching So-and-So's, like I said earlier, and Nancy stitches on 18 count Aida, and it's beautiful. It looks, I stressed myself out so bad about not stitching on linen and not feeling like I wasn't doing a good enough job as a cross stitcher, which is
You're going to stitch. Everybody's got to stitch on what they're comfortable stitching on, or you're not going to find joy in it.
And that's the whole point. And I am back to feeling more joy about it. I really, really appreciate that. And Nancy does stitch with one thread on 18 count. And she showed a bunch of projects where it just looks gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
So there's plenty of coverage. So, and this was the other one, and this is called Beez Knees, and also by Seraphim Fabrics. And this one's darker. So I tried to get one light and one dark, thinking, we'll just on that way I'll have something
to pull from when you need it. Yep.
So yeah,
very nice.
Very nice. Thank you. And then what did I do? I lost my list here.
Okay.
Okay, and then I do have just a tiny little bit of haul for quilting. So this quilt is called the Peacemaker, and it's Missouri Star, and they have all the videos for putting it together, and they say it's beginner friendly, and I haven't even started it. I got the first first box.
It's a sewing machine.
Yeah, and I have my guest room, has a bed in it, and it's also my sewing room, so I figured that would be the place to...
Is it... So it's a smaller size then, and you're going to put it on your wall?
Like I'm not sure. I thought it would be big enough to be on a bed. It sounded like it would be. What does it say? I thought it said it was big enough to be on a bed.
The finished...
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking to see. It doesn't really say right now.
I joined like the Facebook group for people that are doing it, and they are all saying they're putting it on their bed. So.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
We'll find out as you dig in. She's just beginning.
I'm just starting. So.
Yeah, I was just curious on the finished size.
Yeah.
Usually they list it.
Yeah, I mean, because it called for, this is the backing, and it called for like 8 yards of backing.
Yeah, 8.5 yards of backing.
I don't know what to do about this. So this is the backing fabric. I don't really like it.
Did that come with it?
No, I had to buy it.
But that's part of the pattern. It's what people are using?
Yep, it's what she designed it. Yeah.
For. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But nobody ever sees the back.
They don't, yeah, and I already paid for it, so, Somebody said something in the group like, oh, I never put fancy stuff on the back. And then someone else said, I always do because then it's like having 2 quilts.
You could flip it over.
So then, yeah, if you didn't want that, you could, so.
Good idea.
And I figure, I mean, obviously I've only looked at it like this. I haven't taken it out and stretched it out. So maybe it's gorgeous and I just haven't, I'm just looking at this little square of it.
You're not used to these bright fabrics. This is a very primitive,
muted.
Yep, for decorating, for everything. And so this is opposite of that.
It is,
But maybe you're going to find that you really, really like it.
This kind of is too, but I really love it. So I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Give it a shot.
I love it.
Right?
I'm sure I will. So, and then I think I was just going to talk about one other thing quick. So I know I talked about this before, but I'll show it because I'm
in love with it.
I'm in love with it. So the first thing I finish, this will be the next whip.
Okay.
Because this is on deck, is that called? And so it's for the Love of Nature by
Teresa Kogut.
And I bought a 1/4 yard of the 16 count Regency Aida fabric. And this is what I'm going to do it on. It's kind of a mottled green fabric.
Very pretty.
And then this is the called for floss. And
when you hold the floss up against the fabric, it's beautiful.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So this is the motivation to finish something.
So you can get started on
it in my rotation.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, love that. And otherwise, I think we have shown everything we wanted to show. we did have a winner of this giveaway.
Yep.
So this is called Keeper of the Pins, and it's by Little House Needleworks, and it includes the pins and the floss, so no fabric. And Linda won this, and her Instagram handle or YouTube handle was Lady Legionnaire 13. Linda, so if you could send us an email at twogratefulstitchers
We'll get that
at
out to you.
gmail.com. Yep, we'll get that in the mail to you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
We
watching.
look forward to seeing you again soon, and we'll see you around on social media. But yeah, thanks for watching.
See you next time.